you to tell them about this concept of work being a relationship. How do you carry that within you? That's part of the model. Part, it's meaning and purpose. It's personal and professional. It's life energy.
Yeah.
So
the relationship,
tell me how you're carrying that.
Every part is so it's so powerful. So when I think about work as a relationship, what the model helped me figure out is I can say, well, make the job sort of a person, a mate. That's how I think of it, a mate. It's the easiest way for me to think about it.
Okay.
Family member, you might let them get away with a little bit more. A mate, however, you can say, do I feel valued in this relationship? Do I feel like we share the same values? Do I feel like we work together well? It really gave me a tool for determining if the environment was good for me. So again, if we return to this idea that I grew up with, that whatever's going on, even if the situation's abusive, you just stay in it. It gave me a way to sidestep that and to say, no, I can work hard and I can feel good at work. And I have some needs. I'm fulfilling the needs of the organization or the space. I also have needs. I have a need to feel like I matter, that my voice and my perspective is important, my work is valued. So when I think about work as a relationship, now I can say, well, are these things happening? Because if they aren't, typically I know within myself I feel bad. I feel unimportant. I have feelings about it, and now I have some place to put them. So I can either, out of that, make a decision. So am I going to have a conversation? Am I going to try to point out the things that aren't working for me and figure out with my employer how to make them better? Or do I believe that maybe it's time for me to search for another relationship?
So what did you do most recently on your job? And you called me up and you felt really, really good about what you had done.
I felt good. I felt powerful. I felt so many things. So recently I got a new employer, or a new supervisor, not a new employer, a new supervisor, and the management style was very different. And early on in the relationship, I felt abused is the word. I felt like a scapegoat for a situation that was not of my making. So I let less than 24 hours pass before I had a conversation with the supervisor, dissecting the situation, asking questions. Hey, what happened? This is what it felt like to me. Can we talk about it? Something I would have never done. Then I proceeded to replay the series of events, so it was ultra clear that I had not dropped the ball, so to speak. Her words, not mine. And so I think she was caught in the position of what happened, but so was I. And I realized, we're going to date for a little while. Let's see how this goes. Because the situation felt so bad that I knew I needed to address it. And it was a really amazing experience for me to be able to go sit with it, not be bitter about it. I was frustrated and not happy with it, but I didn't go to the bitter place. I realized I had to take responsibility, that this was another situation where I needed to establish boundaries, and talk about basically what my expectations are at work, and figure out what my my new supervisors were, and to figure out too if that was going to be okay for me. So right now it's okay. It's better. I think that was a new experience for her as well, and yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out.
So, when you called me and told me about this, you were happy.
I was.
You were really, really happy. So, what did this affirm for you?
It affirmed for me just across the board. This is one of those situations where that's relationship clearly. Being able to talk about what was causing me angst gave me energy, and it proved to me that I had the power to address any situation in my workspace, in any space. Yeah, it was. I did it. I wasn't talking about it. We weren't being all intellectual and smart about it. I was like, here it is. What are you gonna do? So yeah, and just to be nervous, I was nervous, but I still had the courage. And having the tools gave me the courage to go in and have the conversation. And I think I was particularly proud because I didn't call you on the phone and say, "Oh my God, Helen, like it's happening again." It wasn't that situation. It was I recognized it. I recognized my feelings, and I took responsibility for them, and I went and did something about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, in order to make the services that I provide really helpful, what is the work that you have to do?
Wow. That that's a heavy question because, and I only say it's heavy because it's a lot of self work. You have to be honest with yourself, um, warts and all. Yes, you can think you're wonderful. You can think that you're smart. You can think that you're hardworking. You can have accomplishments to prove it. All of those things may be true. It still does not take away the fact that you have to take responsibility for the pieces of your life, work life or home life, that are giving you heartburn. um, yeah. So so I think that's the condition. You have if you think about the optimal conditions for taking advantage of what you're able to offer, they require you to take responsibility for yourself, for your decisions around whatever degree you're pursuing, your decision to take a job, to leave a job, to want something different. You have to be the master of your domain. You really just you all pieces of it. So.
But I saw something really special about you. You would go home after a session, and what did you do when you went home?
Well, I reflected a lot on our conversation, and I feel like that's what I did. So if we revisit the situation when I was working at the university, I really went deep with how did I make that happen, and how is that playing out across my life. And so when I found those connections, it was a confirmation that I was creating situations in my life, but it also let me know that I could change those situations in my life. And it was really difficult to accept responsibility for my part in it. But I think that was the. Oh my God!
I remember
I
how
was
you
like,
looked.
no, not me. I am Miss A plus. I do it right all the time, and it just wasn't the case. So I think I was willing to modify my idea of myself, um, modify my idea of situations, consider others' perspective. Because one key thing in that situation too was you forced me to be in my employer's shoes. Like, what would I have done if I was that person? So that's a key piece of it. And yes, not only did I take a look at how whatever we were examining in terms of responsibility was playing out now, I also went back years and years and years and said, huh, this is probably why this situation, was like it was. And it helped me come to relationships and other things, just more, I was more open. So that was the work, but it's work. It's work to do that. It's work to say, maybe what I thought was going on, that wasn't the only thing that was happening. Hmm.
So, Leon, I think we could stop it now.